Hey everybody, it's Minister Conway and Brother Philip, and today we're going to do a Sunday service review. We tried a different church today that's a fellowship with, um, be- and we're on camera, because little one had a camp there this over the weekend, so we've been dropping him off, and today was their last day, so that's been a blessing. And even though it was a children's lesson, I found it very applicable to life as an adult. So, Brother Philip, what did you learn today?
Well, today they talked about the story of Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole little skit too. It was amazing.
It was fun,
It
yes.
it was fun. It was hilarious too, because of what the kids were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But the main story was Gideon was called by God. He was one of God's mighty men of valor. He was called by an angel to lead an army against this huge, massive army that was against the Israelites and was like just so immeasurable. Like you couldn't put a number to it because it was so huge, like just insanely huge. And Gideon was called to lead that army. Now, all like I would be terrified to do that. He was obviously terrified. He was doubting it because he didn't think of himself as one of the strongest or like anything that could actually. He thought of himself as one of the least capable out of everybody.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
And so he had God fulfilled two wishes of him, like not wishes, but it was like a task, like with a.
He asked the Lord to show that he was with him, to show this really is you, Lord.
Show it is him, and
we do that sometimes. We don't believe that that's really the Lord for us.
And after two things that God did for him, he was still doubtful, obviously, and scared because that's a huge army. But he gathered an army of 10,000 volunteers, and God said that was too much, so he had to lessen that amount. So what God told Gideon to do was to see who was scared, and whoever was scared and didn't want to fight was allowed to just go home and not have to do this. And there was still too many for God. There was still too much remaining. So what they did was they went down to a river, and whoever would drink, like as if they were a dog, just facing the water, was not capable. Whoever had their hands cupped and were bringing the water to the lips, still being alert, seeing everything, was who God wanted. And so after all that, the army was lessened down to about 300. And so God was like, that's perfect, because what God wanted to do was showcase his power, and that it wasn't the power of the 10,000, it was him, it was God helping them out.
Yes.
Not just them doing it all by themselves.
Yes.
And so God even had like a whole little plan that like, with just those 300, God had a whole plan that involved pots, torches, and trumpets.
Tell us about this plan.
I'm happy about the trumpets because I am a trumpet player. But so what they were to do was on the signal that was given by Gideon, they would light their torches, they would slam down their pots, and they would start blowing in the trumpets. And what that did was it confused the enemy, and they all started hitting each other instead of attacking Gideon and his army. And then eventually they fled.
Whoever was still alive.
Yeah,
because most of them killed themselves. I mean, most of them killed their own army members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever was still remaining, they all fled.
Yeah.
And they won because of God helping them out.
And God did it in a way that nobody else can take credit for it.
Exactly.
You have to give honor to God.
Like that they beat them with torches, pots, and a trumpet. They didn't even have a weapon. Like, that's just insane.
Well, it's how it is sometimes in our lives, as you feel like you don't have a weapon, you don't have anything to stand on to fight these big, hairy battles that come our way, these big spiritual battles, or even these big corporate battles, or these big family battles, or the big financial battles that come our way. And so we can trust in our Lord that if he brought us to it, he'll bring us through it, and that if he is going to that's not how I want to say it. He is not going to leave us high and dry. He is going to open up a way of escape. And sometimes he confuses the enemy on our behalf and lets the enemy take itself out. And so I was very encouraged today, and I know you were too, Brother Philip. And so I want to thank everybody who watches our videos. For the next 2 weeks, we won't be here on this video because we will be, I will be at the Elect Ladies Conference this coming week, starting Thursday through Sunday, and then I'll be in Detroit the week following, and then we'll roll into our consecration fast. If you are interested in fasting with us, let me know. Otherwise, you'll see us online for Tuesday Bible study. And then at the end of the month, we'll be heading to our great General Assembly, which includes is preceded by our International Youth Meeting, our International Brotherhood with those godly men of valor, mighty men of valor, right? God's mighty men of valor. And yes, I did register you this year. You're there. Um, and so then we roll into our great General Assembly. So if you can't make it and you have questions about the General Assembly or questions for me to bring before the General Council, let me know. And with that, we're going to go out now. Y'all take care and be blessed.